Okay, my rubber matting, and I just got this finally. Little POV mount, neck mount. Hands-free stuff. So here's the new motor. I'm here in Round Rock. Going to replace this ECM motor. Should be fairly easy and quick. Just because it's ECM motor, don't really have to, it's just plug and play really. So I'm gonna grab all my stuff, get up on the roof, and get started on it. All right, here we go. Look at that, hands-free. That's so cool. Well, I got all my stuff here. Hopefully the video turns out pretty good because I'm using the wide angle lens on my phone. So I'm gonna put this up just in case it rains. Just gonna set up all my stuff. And I still got the unit turned off too. This will magnetize here. Open it up. Nice. Looks good. And then we're gonna go ahead, unscrew this unit. So this ECM motors are pretty easy to install. Okay, wish I had some gloves, but I left them at another job site. I'll put this panel right here. Here's our ECM motor. So the best way to do this, clip these zip ties off, move all the wires out of the way, unscrew the feet that hold down the housing, and then there's some screws on the back, same exact ones. That way we can pull out the entire blower housing. We can work on our motor. So let's go ahead and start by getting our cutters. I'm gonna take these. That one can just snap back in. And that's it. We can take this off too, because that's gonna come out. Down here maybe, we can clip this off. That should be it for that. Okay, just leave that there. Now, we're going to unplug this harness. And then remember where these wires go. So we have white, we have yellow. Yellow was on 4, like that. I didn't expect it to come out that quick or easily. So we got 1 and 4. So those are our 2 different speeds. So put those off to the side. Might need an extension. Or a 90 if you have one. I feel like extensions seem to work the best just because you can get a better angle. Make sure you don't lose none of the screws. So we're almost loose. Let me just make sure that there are no screws back here. Which I'm pretty sure there is always screws back there. Oh, I'm dumb. There's screws right here too. All right, now that should be it. Yeah, that's better. Then you just gotta wiggle those, move all the wires out of the way. See, for this, I do wish I had gloves for. I'm gonna stop by my office today and go grab some. So I also gotta go pick up. I have some penetrating oil. This is good stuff to have. Doesn't matter which one you get, really. What you want to do is spray a good amount of oil down in there. Let it sit for a bit. And then you want to take your crescent wrench and undo this little locking nut. Hopefully this motor comes out easily. And I'm going to flip it around. If you're in commercial, be careful with the white membrane. Okay, and hopefully I don't need to use this puller, but if the motor doesn't come out, I'll be using this right here. This is a motor puller. pretty much you lock it on the motor or the blower wheel little hub, and then this will crank down on the motor shaft and it'll push it out. Hopefully I don't have to use that. Now let me grab this. This is a good tool to have, just in case you're working with different size bolts. I was right. Okay. Take all the hardware off, and then should just be able to pull the motor up. If it doesn't pull up, then we'll be using the puller. I think this is still stuck. Oh, it's still stuck. Just from all the pressure. Let's see. Okay. Looks like we'll be using that puller. Take out this locking nut or screw, because you don't want to get that mixed in with the puller. So I used to have a puller. This is a brand new puller I just got. The one I used to have, I lost it at a job site, and I just got this one. This one's way too bulky and it's too heavy. I don't personally like it, but it does the job. So I'm gonna loosen all these 4 screws here. Now all you want to do is set this on the, first also you gotta loosen this all the way back. You gotta reseat this out all the way. Now we're going to crank down on these screws, these 4 screws that I just loosened up. Try to get a few threads in at a time on each screw, just so all the tension is equal on all sides. Now that those are snug down, I grab my crescent wrench again and just tighten these as best as you can. I wouldn't like go crazy on these. Did this the wrong way. Tighten each one down one at a time. This is ready to go. And you can get another crescent and hold it with the other crescent, but I don't think I'll need to do that, because I can just start cranking down on this here, and the motor should start pushing out. And you can also spray some more of this penetrating oil. All right, so I've been working with this for about 10 minutes now. It's completely stuck. This is where I gotta come up with a new game plan here, because this thing is being stubborn and won't come out. I've been wrestling this thing. My next step is to put a torch on it, burn it that way, see if we can expand the metal to get it to come out. So I'm gonna go grab my torches real quick. I feel like I'm tearing my hands up too. I need some gloves for sure. Gonna drop this down. Trying to think of something else I need or that I could use to help me with this. I'd say this is the only part that sucks about commercial. Having to rope up everything you have. But I think some of you residential guys, you rope up stuff through the attic. But obviously it's not as tall as a building. It's only like 15 steps, 12 steps, compared to like 2 stories where I'm at right now. Okay, let's see. All my stuff's getting wet. if this doesn't work, then gonna have to buy a new wheel as well, which sucks because I didn't want to do that. This little chest mount would have been great for that install I did, or that leak repair I did a few days ago. All right, let's see what we can do with that. If that doesn't work, then we will go and buy a new wheel too, which I don't want to do.
One eternity later.
Oh my God. Jeez. That thing was in there. Jeez. All right, finally. We have our new motor. This blower wheel. I think what we can do right now is we can put the belly band back on. We'll do that. Okay, now we're gonna take this motor. And hopefully by the time we're done getting the belly band back on, the thing will be cooled down. The little blower wheel hub. Okay, so the way this was is like this. We're gonna throw this band on like this. And I tried to leave an opening for the harness. I don't want to put one foot like this where it's blocking the harness. So I try to space it out. And what we can do right now is just get this started, because these can be kind of tricky to get at a good position. So now I'm gonna put the feet in these little grooves. You can see these grooves on each. There's 3 grooves. You just slide the feet in each one of those. Feet, or legs, whatever you want to call them. And then there's also grooves on the feet themselves. Like this. There's a little hump or a little indentation there. And that's where you put the grooves into. They align. Tighten this up. Tighten it little by little. Don't overdo it for just right now. Just so you can get these feet perfectly aligned. Make sure everything is level. Make some adjustments if you need to. Okay. Now I think we can go ahead and tighten it up. Okay. Now that's complete. We can go ahead and flip this upside down. Put the motor in there. Hopefully, I think this should be cooled down. It's still a little warm. It's not hot. Yeah, so we can fit that in there now. I'd probably, just from how much we burned this thing up, I'd probably add some lubricant inside there. Make sure you wipe the lubricant off the floor, especially on a floor like this. I'm gonna put the motor in here. Now, these little, what do you call these? I forgot. Standoffs. You're going to, usually most of the time, I actually don't see standoffs too often, but it does help that they're on here. All right. Usually there's just holes in the blower housing, but the standoffs really help. So now we're going to grab our washers. Put our washers back on. Grab our bolts and our other washers. Put these back. And then I'm gonna put a washer, bolt. And then you want to start the threads before actually drilling it, just so you don't cross thread. And last one. Cool. Now can go ahead and take our drill. What size was it? It's like 9/16. And don't overdo it, just get it snug. Don't hammer it all the way, then you're gonna end up stripping the threads. Okay, that's done. And now, last part, we just need to adjust the wheel left to right, just so it doesn't scrape against the housing. Let me see. It's just about perfect. I can slide it over just a little bit more that way. I just don't want the housing to rub against the motor itself, so I need to try to get it to go this way if I can. I would spin it too a few times just to make sure. I would spin it a few times just to make sure you're good. It looks pretty centered. Oh, and don't forget this little locking screw. So you don't want this wheel to spin freely. The flush part, the flat part of the shaft should be facing this thread. So you can screw into this. And it'll catch. Make sure you tighten it real good. Because if you don't, the wheel will start spinning freely. The motor will just continuously spin. So you get no airflow. Now, that's done. We can go ahead and slide this back in. Have to get those correct. Okay. Now we go back to zip tying all this back together. And oh my goodness, look at that. It's on the other side. That's all right. We can cut that right there. I got some zip ties with me. Cut this. Good thing there's slack. I'll put this back, plug that in there. So there can only be one way. There's only the only way you know that this will go into its either top or bottom is this piece is blocked off and there's a missing terminal there, so it has to go into this one. You wouldn't be able to put it in this one. You wouldn't be able to push it in because there's a terminal there on the bottom, so it only goes into one slot. And then we had white was number 1 and yellow was 4. Take a zip tie. We'll just zip tie this back together. Just like that. Make it look pretty. All right. Trash. Okay, we're done with that. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and turn it on, make sure this motor works and also spins in the right direction. So let's turn this on. Let's see. And it's working. We gotta make sure it's spinning the right direction. It's going this way. Rotation says it is going the correct way. On these blower housings, even on the bigger industrial stuff, they'll always have a sticker or an imprint telling you which direction the motor should be going. So that's very helpful. So we're going the right direction. And now, since the unit's running, the heater's on. This feels amazing. All right, so we finally got it going. Heater's on, blower kicked in. I already explained the rotation. So I think that's going to do it for the rest of the video. All I got to do is finish the PM on this unit and that unit over there. I also need to go to the filter house and grab some filters. And then that should be it. That should be the rest of my day. So I appreciate you guys for watching. Until next service call.